going to start over and remind everybody who doesn't know that I am Coach K, Coach Khara, and I teach women how to lose weight by faith. And I'm here with my partner, Nurse Rochelle, and we're going to be talking to you guys off and on all week long about flushing your system, detoxing, cleansing, any questions that you guys have in general about how to do it or what to do it or what your health challenges are. You'll be able to join us. We'll give you some advance notice next time once she and I ink out a schedule for when we're going to be live this week, so you can set a reminder if you're that committed or whatever it is you want to do. I have some travel this week and she's got things going on, so we're going to sync our schedules and figure out the best time for us so that we can connect with you guys and share this information. Rochelle, you want to share a little bit about your background? Oh, let me say, first of all, she doesn't just call herself Nurse. She is a real nurse. There's a lot of people out here sharing information, but I am a certified health coach and she is a licensed nurse practitioner. So whatever you want to share, Rochelle, about yourself and your background.
Okay, well, yes, I am a nurse practitioner. My specialty is actually geriatrics, but I'm also trained as a holistic health provider. I do herbs, I do holistic care, and actually, actually training even right now to specialize and be certified as a holistic um, um, herb for women to do care specifically with herbs for women. It's one of the things I'm actually training in now. So I'm kind of broad. I have a lot of passions, and so I love to learn and I love to teach. I've been working with Khara for about a year. We've known each other for many years, but we kind of partnered up about a year ago, right? It's been about a year now, this month actually.
Mm-hmm.
And my role in this community is to be supportive. I support. I watch all of you guys as you communicate. I chime in. I teach. But I'm here watching you have questions. I'm always here willing to chime in and try to answer your questions. But I also am willing to see you privately. I do private consultations. I have my own business in my garden, health and lifestyle consulting, and you can reach me at there's healthinmygarden.as.me. So I believe that's the source. We talk about detoxification and things like that, but I believe that the true source of all of our healing is plant-based. That is what God gave us, and I think that's the answer through and through to the end.
Yes, yes, amen. So true. Hey, Roma. So I just wanted to talk a bit about flushing your system because so many people I see all the time. I want to detox. I want to detox. And you know what's funny is I think people are saying they want to detox after they know they ate really bad and they feel bad.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh man, I need a detox, right? So, I mean, we can all relate. We're not perfect either. And some people out here might pretend like they are, but I promise you, they're cheating behind our backs. They're not, they may not be cheating as bad as you are. They might not be cheating as bad as you are, but they're not eating perfectly either. And so, this, in terms of flushing your whole system, I'm gonna give it away right here at the beginning, and then maybe we talk more about the how or something like that. But um, you have to stop eating certain things. You got to stop eating if you really want to flush your system. You got to stop eating a lot of cooked foods. You got to take a break. Let me put it that way: take a break from a lot of the heavier cooked foods, the breads and flours and things like that. My method would always be raw fruits, veggies, nuts, and seeds as much as possible. Even if you just did that for a few days, you feel better. Now, for me though, I do no eating. Like if I do a day or two, I did this a week ago. I had some bloating. I just wasn't. I knew that I hadn't been 100%, and I did 2 days of just herbs and water. And by the end of day one, my stomach had gone down, and I already felt better. So that's what I've done just for a quick flush.
Carl, one of the things you said, triggered a thought. One of the things that we don't do, we use the word every day, but we don't actually do it, is fast. We talk about breakfast. The word is break the fast. Fasting is one of the most powerful healing tools that we have. Um, There is nothing like it. When we go into a fast, it flips the body in a state that it cannot enter except in the state of fasting. And it brings healing that cannot be brought on by food, even raw or cooked. Definitely not cooked, but not even raw. Fasting, full fasting, either a dry or a water only fast, brings a process that can only happen for healing in that state. So, going for us doing flushing and detoxing, we're not going in a fasting state, but we're going to a state next door to it, as close as we can get to it
Yeah.
by going raw. So, what we need to do, one of the things you were doing when we early started, and you still do it, but we don't focus on it as much, and maybe we need to get back to it, is the Mondays. We used to fast on the Mondays, remember? Putting that focus back. There are studies also that's done that talk about at least once a week fasting. There's still health that is brought because of that one day we stop and give the system a rest, cause it to do things or give it opportunity to do things that it cannot do when it's digesting food. So the
Just
idea of
give it an opportunity, because
yes,
all we do is eat. We just eat all the time.
it
Yeah.
takes the body so much energy to digest food. The brain gets less blood. Other parts of the body, the energy and the blood is decreased in those parts in order to digest food. So it really is a laborious process.
Well, you know what? Speaking of, this live is open to the whole public because it's on my
Okay.
page, but specific to RBE and rebirth, I was thinking yesterday to move the fast day to Tuesdays and bring it back, because Tuesdays, Temple
Yes.
Tuesdays, Monday sometimes mentally I think can be hard, going in the first day of the week. And so I think Tuesdays would be a good day for us moving forward. And I still fast at times on Mondays, but I don't always share with the
Excuse me.
group. So I'd like to kind of push people in RBE, in Rebirth, to do that Temple Tuesday fast. And then that way you've got, if we do it on Tuesday, you have more time through the weekend to kind of prepare yourself that you're going to do it. Because listen to me, you guys, whether you're fasting, whether you're doing a flush or a detox, the battle is won and lost in your
Yes,
mind.
yes, yes.
I promise you that. The whole thing is in your mind. You're worried about recipes and what am I going to eat when this cleanse is over or whatever. You've already lost. It's in your mind. And so when you're about to do a fast, you have to spend time at least 2 days before that just getting your mind ready. So if you need to have some kind of last supper, that should happen 2 days before, not the day before. Because if you eat a heavy meal the night before you fast, baby, it's like you in heroin withdrawal. I mean, it's bad. Your carb cravings are higher. You're going to crave more sugar. You're going to want to eat all kinds of stuff that you shouldn't be eating. So I would suggest, and I suggest to people, stop it, slow it down 2 days before. I'm not the only one that has to
3 is
have that
better.
last supper. Yeah, well, as a former fat girl and foodie, I need that last supper. I know I need to have one last whatever I think I might crave while I'm going to be fasting. And so whatever it is, I do that 2 days in advance. Because if I do it the day before, I wake up the next day and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. So, but I love what you said about the fasting. Heidi said, definitely gonna need cleansing now. I ate all those pistachios trying to quit smoking. Pistachios is not the worst thing you could have eaten, though, Heidi.
Yeah. On the point about,
How many did she eat?
she's been popping them like candy. She's really been popping
All
the
right,
nuts.
bye, Heidi.
So, but
Wow.
on the point of the mind, something I read today, it was talking about true detoxification must take place from all levels within you. If you want to be successful in attaining true health and vitality, you must detox your thoughts, emotions, and your physical body.
Oh, I need you to send that to me. Take a picture of that and send it to
Okay.
me. You must detox your
Your
mind, your thoughts,
you must detox your thoughts, your emotions, and your physical body. A lot of times it's our emotions
your emotions.
yeah, it's a lot of time our
Yeah,
emotions sabotage us. If you think about all
yeah.
the non-physical things, it's our emotion. There's a saying says, what you um, what you think you speak, and what you speak, or no, what you think you feel, and the things you feel, or vice versa, whatever, and you end up creating a habit based on something that happened
Mm-hmm.
here. It started here.
Mm-hmm.
The self-talk that we do, we tell ourselves all of
Right.
this stuff, and it's sabotaging. But it's the same thing. You were
Yeah.
making a point in a presentation recently. You were talking about the scripture says life and death is in the tongue. And it truly
Yes.
is. When you have someone as nurse, I've seen people who are sick or couples. One is sick, one dies, and the other one that's left is like they're dead in a month because they talked themselves. They gave up. They decided here that they didn't want to do this anymore. Not that anything was
Yes.
necessarily wrong, but they may have been old, had a few chronic diseases, but they're gone because they decided to
Yeah.
go. And so the same way, you
See.
wonder, how do people survive horrible, horrible accidents or diseases? And you see them get up because they decided in their mind they were not going to quit.
Mm.
They were going to fight through. They were going
Mm.
to be a victor in this, and they do it. The same thing is for us in this. Um, it's a mind
Mm-hmm.
thing. It really is the first step of it.
It's
It's the
a
mind.
mind thing.
Um,
And so what is your self-talk? So I think before you can decide to make new statements to yourself, I think you have to start by acknowledging what you're already telling yourself. Because I know I've had, and I'm gonna share this too because I know I'm not alone, but I've had moments of panic. So like it could be anything, you guys, like, there's a rash of people dying of cancer, or I remember someone, a dear friend of mine, lost her sister. Her sister just didn't wake up one day. And so I began to feel paranoid, like something's gonna happen to me. If that's not the devil, I don't know what is.
yes.
And I had to reprogram myself. And one day I looked in the mirror and said, Khara, you will live and not die. And I started telling myself, I'm going to be an old woman. I'm going to play with my grandchildren. I'm going to do this and that. And the thing about the self-talk is, tell me if you agree or disagree, but the thing about the self-talk is, I don't have to believe it as soon as I say it.
Correct.
But by saying it, I will begin to believe it. So I am more than a conqueror in Christ Jesus. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me, not some things. My latest one is be anxious for nothing,
Correct.
but all things through prayer and supplication. I'm repeating that to myself all the time, preparing for this move. So when you're talking about a system flush, I'm so glad you brought that up because it has to start by flushing our emotions. Wait a minute. Let's see what Victoria
Help
said
wouldn't
here.
kill me.
Hi, Jackie. Help wouldn't kill me. I survived. I decided Assure wouldn't kill me either. Now I'm telling Lupus it won't kill me. I shall survive this
You
too.
will.
See?
You will, Victoria. Um, lupus is not the end. We have to talk. But you will survive lupus. I am a survivor. You will survive too. Okay?
Yes. Yes. You hear that, Victoria? She's a survivor. Hint, hint. There's a hint in there for you. So I mean, yes, I can't even. This is why. What's so funny about us doing this live tonight, Rochelle, is, years ago I would like to script everything coming out of corporate. You don't jump on and do anything spontaneous at all. At my last job, they used to call it run of show, okay, where we do a practice for whatever it is we're going to do. But I have learned that with some things, now this is not our retreat. We do
Correct.
a retreat, we got to have a program, we got to have order. But I said, nah, I'm not going to talk to Rochelle about the agenda first. We're just going to flow with it, see what happens. And amen, praise the Lord, because you said it starts in your emotions. You have to detox everything. And that's a big mistake people make. You have to detox your environment. And for some of you, a detox, a flush, a cleanse, whatever you want to call it, if you're fasting, you need to cut yourself off from some people first
Yes.
before you even get started. You may need to take time off work. The word says if your right hand offends you, cut it off. So you may need to cut yourself off from folks for a while, take some vacation, and say, during this time, I am not available, while you just go within and work on you. And then you can come out stronger, and maybe then you can kind of go back to your regular life, but you're able to handle it a little bit better, you know?
Correct.
So But I'm glad you brought that up because as we unpack this all week long, we can talk a lot about the foods and the herbs and things like that. But I think tonight we just need to stay on the mindset. That's just my humble
We've
opinion.
done this before. Think about, not you specific only, Cara, but everyone who's watching and listening. Think about what has caused you to fail the last time you did it. Was it something physical? Generally not. What happened that caused you to fall? Because
Mm-hmm.
even in daily life, sin doesn't just happen. It's a decision. Something happens in our head first before we sin. Adam and Eve, before they fell, they made a decision. Eve rationalized. She had a conversation. She made a decision about what she heard God say, what was said to her, and then she chose. She made a decision about what she was hearing and said, you know what? I believe this, the serpent. And then she
Mm.
made the decision and she pulled the fruit. After, we're told in the spirit of prophecy that she took it, she felt some, well, nothing happened. I handled it because she said, God said not to touch it. And so she touched it and nothing happened. So then she made another thought in her mind, well, I can eat it too. So then she ate it. So each time we fall, there is as quick as an instant though, but
It's very quick,
we
but there's a
do
series of
make, we have
decisions.
something happens in our mind. So why are we falling? What decision?
Yes.
I can tell you when I eat something that I shouldn't eat, and when the spirit before I some many times before I swallow it, sometimes it'll get in my mouth, and the spirit will say, "You're not supposed to eat that," or "Why are you eating that?" And I'll say, "Oh." Sometimes I'll say, "You're right," and I'll spit it out. Sometimes if it's something I really want, I say, "Yeah, I know, but I really want to eat this." But there is a decision, and I'm no different than the
Yeah.
next person. It happens for all of us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And you know what? I think we make a decision to quit.
yes,
And it can happen just that fast. And we will lie to ourselves about ourselves. We will get so mad at other people when they don't come through. We'll call them flaky. We'll say they're unreliable. They don't keep their word, but we don't keep our word to ourselves, and we are totally okay with
yeah, it's
that.
true.
you know, when we owe us the absolute most
We do.
and the absolute best. So I agree with what you're saying because every time I've quit in the past, I typically tell myself a story. And I feel like each one of us tells ourselves a story. And it's typically a version of the same story. Oh, well, I'll start again. I'll do better the next time. Hey, I made it this far, so I did okay. And then we will look for one or two witnesses that we can share that with who will co-sign and say, girl, you did okay though. You did good. At least you did this, that, or whatever. When what we really need is to contact somebody before we fall. Like,
Mm.
what if, speaking of Eve, what if the scripture recorded her contacting Adam first and saying, I'm looking at this apple or this fruit, and it looks really good to me, and I want it, but the serpent said this, that, or whatever. If we got counsel before we fell, we might be more likely to stick with the what we said we were going to do. But most of the time, I think it's two things. One, there's a moment in there, and it's very
Short.
short. It's a very short window where you could call for godly counsel. But if you let that moment pass by, then your next step is already compromising and finding somebody to co-sign.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know who to call when we want a co-signer and who to call when we want somebody to Dr. Phil us out of that decision.
Sure.
And we all have those people. I got them. I got people I can call who be like, Khara, you did great though, girl. I couldn't even have gone that long. At least you tried. That's not what we need. So that's all a part of choosing our environment to get ready for to flush our systems too.
One of the things when we think about our detoxing and how do we get there? How do we become toxic in the first place? What are we doing that's making us toxic? Well, actually, toxins come from everywhere. It's in our water, it's in our air, it's in our food, it's all around us. So there's no one who technically does not need to go through at some point some type of detox or flushing their system for health. So if you think, well, I don't really need it, I have been, all of us can use it. And when we look at the issue
Mm-hmm.
of detoxing, what are we talking about? What are we doing to our body? What systems are we talking about? We're going to save that for later.
We can. I want to share what Jackie
Okay.
said. She said our motto, Floyd and I, and by the way, Floyd is cracking me up. I love Floyd. For anybody else who's listening, Jackie is a Rebirth member. She's a Rebirth sister, and she has recently taken charge of her health again, which is all about again. That's a word you need to get familiar with, again, because you're not going to be perfect, and you're going to have to start again, and it's totally okay. And the sooner you accept that, the easier it is to start again. So she said, so she started again, but Floyd is running it now. He's all involved. Jackie asking for French fries. He's bringing in cucumbers and tomatoes on the plate.
I remember that day.
Yes, it's cracking me up. But anyway, she said, when emotions start overwhelming, they say we are not going back to Egypt. I love that. And you know what, Jackie? It reminds me of my wallpaper on my phone, which I need to upload this picture to the Rebirth group for everybody to see it. Because MJ looked at it and he was like, what is this? It's a picture of a slimmer person with a great body pointing her finger at another version of herself that's slightly bigger. So I have it on there to remind. It's from, and he said, "What is this?" I said, "It's from me to me,
Jackie
not
doesn't
on my
like him.
back."
He loves you though, Jackie.
He. She said, "I do not like
he
him."
loves you. He has your back.
He does. He loves you, and you know what? I like him. Coach K and Nurse Rochelle like him a lot. Okay. Everybody needs a Floyd. Let me tell you, he said, nope, I want my wife here. He could be like, I'm getting ready to increase his policy and let her eat whatever she wants.
Yes.
But that's not what he
The other
said.
day when he asked her about her water, how much water she had, does she have any water in her bottle? Remember when she posted?
I missed that.
Oh yeah, he asked her, or she wanted something to drink or something. He asked her about how much water she had. He came and brought her some tea or something else and put it in her bottle. He put her something else in there. He's taking care of her though.
Yeah, I know. Just not listening at all. And you know what, guys? Seriously, Jackie's grateful for it, but we all need the person like that. Because, my husband, he just doesn't have it in him. Like me or the kids, he's pretty, he has a backbone when it comes to him and the stuff that he does. But when it comes to us, my husband was the main one. Now, mind you, my husband, good looking dude. He's always been in great shape, had an excellent six pack for a long time. Now it's an 8-pack, right? But he would go to Quick Trip and get me a Snickers bar in a minute. Okay? Ice cream, whatever. And I said to him when I got the weight off, looking back at my old pictures, I'm like, how could you do that? How could you go and buy me Snicker bars and chips and cake or whatever? He's like, that's what you wanted, So, but seriously, you got to have somebody. If it's not your spouse, you need a friend or somebody who literally will smack that candy out of your hand. And I had a girlfriend who we agreed to tell each other, you are too fat to eat that. Now, everybody shouldn't be that mean. I'm saying that's how we agreed. I needed someone to tell me like that, or now to say, Khara, do you really want to have that? Are you really trying to go back where you used to be? You got to know that you got that person that has your back. That's the person that's really, my husband, he's got my back in other ways, but he didn't want, I guess he didn't want to hear my mouth. Floyd is like, I'm just going to leave this water in here and close the door.
No.
He's just going to give it to her anyway. So back on what we were talking about the flush. And Victoria, I hope you saw Rochelle's comments, and we'll share her information in case you want to get a discovery session with her. But so let me recap here briefly, because we probably won't be on too much longer. We'll be back again throughout the week. That the first step to flushing your system is flushing your mind. Yes. Your environment. Can you read that quote again, Rochelle, for someone who may have missed it?
It says, if you want to be successful in attaining true health and vitality, you must detox your thoughts, emotions, and your physical body. So it is it's all or nothing. You can do pieces, but you're not, it's like a Band-Aid. If you're not doing all of it, and if you're not starting with your mind for detoxing, it really just is a Band-Aid. Because the thing about being toxic, we can stop foods, but our bodies make chemicals. and it affects how we feel. Everybody knows um, when you don't feel good, you act a certain way. If you're in
Mm-hmm.
pain, you're irritable. Um, when your stomach hurts, you can be crotchety. So we know that physiologically, how we are feeling physically affects us mentally. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that tells it on a daily basis. That tells us that we have to do something beyond the band-aid, the symptom of what we see. I'm constipated, so I'll take a laxative. No, don't just take
Mm-hmm.
a laxative. Why are you constipated? Look at the cause. What am I doing?
Right.
Why am I continually, or why do I get constipated? My foot hurts. Um, I saw a neighbor today and I looked at her. I'm like, I look down. I'm a foot person. I don't have a fetish, but as a nurse, I always look down at feet. I don't know why. I like shoes, but I always check feet. And I immediately look down at her and I'm like, your left foot is really swollen. Not just your whole foot and ankle is swollen. She said, I know it started like yesterday. And I looked at her and said, come here, let me see the other one. And your ankle on the right is swollen. And I started asking her, what have you been doing? What have you been eating? Well, it's just I haven't done. And I immediately start questioning her. What is the reason for this? It didn't just happen. It happened for a reason. So, and how many of you recognize that sometimes swelling can happen in your ankles? You're standing up, you're on your feet a lot. You say, I don't know why. But it actually is a sign of dehydration. When you're on your feet a lot, if you're
Mm.
underhydrated, your ankles
Wow.
will tend to swell. So if you hydrate, you say, well, why is that?
Yeah.
Well, because the amount of
Mm.
sodium
Wow.
to
Well,
ratio,
that is I love what you said though. We have to get to the root, and
yes,
it's unfortunate that not always will the doctor ask those questions.
no, they don't. But that's part of what the
Yeah.
dynamic of how I practice holism. Holism is going to ask you because I want to know what's the problem, and there probably is a herb that can do something, but that's not the reason that I want to work with you. I want to work with you so we can figure out what's the problem. What's the root of the problem, because I don't want to do band-aid. You can go to the store. You don't need to talk to me. If you just want a solution, a band-aid, you want a herb, you can go to the herb shop and ask them. I'm not your person. I'm the person that you talk to when you really want to figure out what's the problem. How can we change this? I want to make a change in my life. Let's get at the root cause. And so that, speaking back to the ankle thing, when your water and sodium get out of balance, your body will hold on to water because, onto water, right? Because it has too much salt. When you're dehydrated, the sodium level goes up, right? In ratio, in
Mm-hmm.
comparison to the water level. So if now it's looking like your body's acting like, uh-oh, I'm going to die, so I got to hold this water. What does it do? It stores it in the tissue. That's what swelling is. That's what edema is. And so if you drink enough,
Mm.
your body says, oh, that ratio will change. Water's back up, right? So, oh, I can let this go now. And that tissue, that fluid will move out of your tissue and you'll excrete it through your kidneys. So
Wow.
there's a cause.
I would love I would love it if they would say, "Listen, I want you to increase your fruits and veggies, decrease acidic foods like meat, starch, dairy, etc. Increase your water to 10 to 12 glasses a day and come back and see me in a month." That I would be like, "I'm with this doctor for life." But that's not what happens.
Yeah. When I used to work in a clinic, one of the things I liked, because it was older people that I was seeing, older people know about the old days. And the old days was not drug filled. They grew up with eating what they could find, what grandma said, or what they knew. Some of the clients I used to care for, they were like 90s, 80s. Someone was up to 100 years old and still functional. So they had a different background. So I can say to them, you know what, you've come in and this is going on, you're coughing. Um, are you all right with not doing a cough? Man, I'm listening to your lungs. You're a little raspy, but let's try something herbal. Okay, how about I want you to do, and I would write it out as a prescription, just like that. Here's what your prescription is,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd write it out. I want you to take 2 to 3 cups of garlic, lemon, cayenne pepper tea. Okay, I want you to do that. I want you to increase your water. You have to increase your water so many cups a day. When they came back, that was my follow up. Did you do this? How was your
Mm-hmm.
cough? Did you drink this? What's going on with that? Oh, well, that really helped. I had one client whose daughter told me he fell in love with the tea. She said, well, he's not coughing anymore. Can he still drink the tea? I said, of course he can. It's food. There's nothing.
Yeah.
It's herb,
Yeah.
it's garlic, and he loved it. And so, but our food should be our medicine. And and there's a time we need to back off. But the original
Yeah.
plan is that the food was the food was everything. So we're
Yeah.
going to work. That's what our experience
Yeah.
is going to be as we detox. We're going to get it cleaned out so we can start again.
Yeah. And you know what? We need a whole nother series on unwrapping the brainwashing we all have around getting a quick pill that fixes everything that's wrong with us. It's upsetting, but we're not even going to get into it on this. So we do, you guys, want to let you know that you can detox yourself by listening to everything that we've discussed here, and then incorporating a diet high in fruits, veggies, nuts, and seeds, and do research on herbs that will help whatever system of the body you're looking to treat. We are also offering a summer flush that starts on July 23rd. That's the start date. However, the early bird ends this Friday. It's just two payments of $48, and that gives you all the materials, all the recipes, everything you need, live coaching, just like you see us here right now. We literally hold your
Yes.
hand throughout the entire process. And we work together on the coaching. Rochelle produces all of the herbs and ships those out to you. And we need to get you in the system by this weekend to make sure that you get your herbs on time to start with the rest of us. Okay. So as soon as you sign up, you get an automatic email. You're entered into our system. We get your address and we get the herbs out to you. And then there's some pre-work you got to get started on. And actually, after tonight's conversation, I think I'm going to add some more homework in there around getting your detoxifying your
Mine.
mind,
Yeah, that's true.
because I really, I talk about it, which you know I do, Rochelle, but I guess we just need to repeat it more often, because people skip that step and jump to the food.
Yes.
And if you don't have your mind ready first, you're not going to make it. If you do make it, you won't get the same lasting effects. You know, if you still have the same toxic, stressful situations going on, what are you going to do when your emotions fall off track, and then you don't want that salad that I put in the meal plan? You know, or you don't want that anymore because now you're angry at what so and so did. You want to run back to the same vomit that you're used to deal with, which is not fixing anything, just to make yourself feel better. So you got to have your mind in the right place. You got to have your self-talk in the right place. You have to have your affirmations together, which is one of the assignments already in the folder for the summer flush participants, is to get some affirmations down, things that you will repeat to yourself every day over those 14 days. This is the kind of stuff I used to think was just hocus pocus. I'll be honest with you, this is not my natural personality. I'm not an emotional, flowery type person, so I thought it was rather silly. But I have learned it works if you work it.
You know, the other thing is,
It works if you work it.
another part of this too is the system. You always talk about prep for the food, but one of the things I know that I struggle with personally is putting things in place. One of the things I learned when I used to practice something called Fly Lady or something like that. She was an organizational lady that was on
Yes,
Facebook.
I know Fly Lady.
She was great though.
Mm-hmm.
One of the principles she taught was preparation the night before. You determine what your
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow's gonna be like by what you do the night before. If you go to bed late, you know it'll be irritable the next day, more than likely. Um, if you don't
Mm-hmm.
prepare, if you don't know what you're wearing, if you don't know what, if you don't have certain things in order, you're gonna end up in the morning trying to gather those things, running, rushing, and you just start your day wrong. So, as well as the
Mm-hmm.
mental prep, you know, um, putting systems in place, okay, as we do this, knowing that you're going to do this the night before. So in the morning when you go, you go. You have, and one of the things is, as we talk about the mind part, the scripture says, "A man thinketh in his heart, so is he." That says that right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a biblical principle there. As you think in your heart is what you are. Do you believe that you can succeed? Okay. The scriptures
Mm-hmm.
say, according to your faith, so be it unto you. Do you believe you can have help? Is that what you want? It might be what you want, but do you believe it? Okay.
Do you believe
All
it?
right. So,
And that right there, though, Rochelle, do you really believe it?
mm-hmm.
You need to ask yourself that, and don't rush past it, because we will set goals, or we think we want to lose weight or be
Yes.
healthier, but deep down inside, there's a part of us that doesn't really believe what we're going to get there.
Yeah. Or we don't
And
want to put forth the
that
work.
stops everything too.
I think more of
Well,
it is the
yeah.
work.
And then that's the other part. Or we start making excuses right out the gate around why we're not going to be able to do it. One of the ones I hear all the time, and I want every woman who listens to this to pause on this: I don't have time. That's what women say. And I think if I had always, now I get it, because I get why people say it, but I'm going to push back on you because, yeah, when I went vegan before a couple of years ago, I was working from home. I could run downstairs and start a salad, come back to have a meeting, go back down. But I went back to work in an office environment. And when I started my transition this last time in 2015, I was working 60 hours a week. And I had 3 kids, and I'm married. And sometimes I had to work late at night. Sometimes I had to work weekends. So sometimes I ended up eating even less, but that all the more reason why you have to prepare. And I guarantee you there are pockets of time in your life that you are wasting when you could be prioritizing both your mental and your physical preparation. And you need to take a hard look at your own schedule and see what adjustment can I make instead of the excuses I'm making.
Yes.
Because there's always something that we can adjust in our time management. With a lot of women, honestly, and maybe this is because it's something I don't really like to do, but they'll spend their house will be spotless. They don't have time to cook anything, but their house is spotless. So sometimes, I mean, I know you want to make your bed in the morning, but if it's make my bed or make a smoothie, baby, I'm on that smoothie, because making your bed is good for you, and it's good to have a clean space,
Hey,
and I get
Quentin.
all that. But you also have to make sure that you make time to figure out what you're going to eat, make sure your mind is in the right place, and actually go in there and do your prep. It's just very critical. Like Dinah said, preparation is key. All right. So Heidi says she has a lot of time now. She doesn't smoke. See, it's a strange thing, but it's also because if you think about smoking, I used to smoke cigarettes off and on. I was never like a smoker, but I would smoke every now and then. Just the act of taking the smoke break and going outside to smoke, you're really not doing anything else while you're smoking. Smoking is the activity. So I can see why if you quit, that's a good 15, 20 minutes now that you could be in the kitchen prepping your food. Heidi could be making more of that homemade veggie stock and stuff that she makes, right? So we're not going to keep you guys too long tonight. I don't know what time it is, but yeah, we're not going to keep you guys too long. We want to let you know that we do have the Summer Flush registration.
Yes.
If you want to sign up for that, I will put the links in this post, but you can go to www.kharaashburn.com/cleanse and sign up there. And then you will receive everything that you need starting from that point. Again, 2 bi-weekly payments of $48. So one today, one 2 weeks from now. That's it. After the early bird ends on Friday, it will be $147. Absolutely no exceptions. Just letting you know. I'm holding it open until Friday to give y'all time to get paid again, so people can go ahead and get signed up for that. If you're a Rebirth member, please ignore what I just said and check the group page for instructions on how you can get signed up. If you want to be a Rebirth member so that you can save you a little bit of money and just get your herbs, you can go to CoachKhara.com or therebirthexperience.com and get set up there. As a Rebirth member, not only do you get these cleanses every quarter where all you do is purchase your herbs, you also get a weekly recipe guide that includes a shopping list, recipes, and meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a spiritual assignment, accountability, live monthly coaching. All of that is included with that membership as well. So
Hey, Gladys.
just good stuff. We're excited. Well, we got exciting stuff going on. I'm talking too much. What'd you say, Rochelle?
No, Gladys just came when I said, hey, Gladys.
Oh, okay. So yeah, go ahead and get going. But the Rebirth will provide you ongoing structure,
Yes.
ongoing accountability. We're working on goals right now, and everyone is inputting their goals and then tracking their healthy habits toward their goals. So it may be the faith-based structure that some of you need. And I know that faith is a huge component most of the time missing from our weight loss goals. We talk about wanting to lose weight and get healthy, but we don't really think about praying about it. Maybe because we know God would come in and clean out and we're not ready. I don't know.
Well,
What'd you say, Rochelle?
I just want you to know, as you're talking, and we're talking very much female, there's a guy online. So some of this he can't become a part on that level. But Quentin, my nephew, just popped on, um, and
Okay.
so I don't think he needs to lose weight, but being healthy and cleansing he could do. But
Oh well, your auntie can help you with all of that.
yes, so again, for those who want to go a step further after the cleanse, because cleanse is the flush, where we want to call it, is a great start, great place to start.
Yes.
But if you have other you have deeper health issues, this is just to give you a boost. Reach out to me on whatever environment you see. If you're here with Khara, you can ask for me. And like I said, you can go to
Yeah.
there's healthinmygarden.as.me, and there you can sign up for a discovery session with me, and we can talk about what's going on with you.
And she'll put it in there.
Yes.
So I want to make sure I answer Victoria's question. What if you aren't believer, religious? Hey, guess what, Victoria? We have an atheist in the rebirth experience. Okay, so we are faith-based. We definitely will not hide that or keep that a secret or anything like that. But we're not trying to proselytize.
Anyway,
Did I
that's
say that
correct.
word
That's
right?
correct.
You. Okay, so you will see us talk about faith. Absolutely. We pray on our coaching calls and everything. She has accepted that. She told me, these are her words, not mine. I can go within where I need to go to get what I need to get. So that is her choice. We're not a respecter of persons in that sense, okay? But you should know
That's
that
who we
we are
are.
faith-based, and
Yes.
that guides every single thing that we do. But we're not taking applications to be a member of the rebirth experience. Anyone who is interested in taking their health to the next level can feel free to join us at any time. But we're preparing for the summer flush. And as we close this, I just want to give you guys a recap. Rochelle said the flush starts in the mind first. It starts in the mind first. I want you guys to stop dieting. I don't care what plan you choose, and you don't have your mind made up. All right. You can start making little changes here and there, but you should spend way more time working on your mind than on your recipes. It reminds me of Rochelle marriage, right? People spend so much time planning the wedding.
Yes.
And no time planning the actual marriage and how we gonna make this marriage work.
True.
So that's what we're talking about. The same thing in terms of doing a detox or flushing your system. You need to get your mind ready first for what you're dying to, all the things you're not going to consume for a set period of time, and hopefully some you never go back to because you're feeling so great and you're looking good, and spend way more time on that, to make it more tactical is reviewing health documentaries, building your support group of people that are going to help support you, dedicating time for your spiritual practice every day, getting your schedule together, getting your house organized. All those types of things should consume far more of your energy, so that by the time we drop these recipes to you and these herbs, you're ready. And let me tell you something. When you get in that headspace in your mind, nothing can stop you. I know, because I've been there and I've seen other women who have crazy stuff going on in their life. But because they were committed and they had a strong why and they had their mind ready, they went off, and there was nothing you could do to stop them, period.
Yes.
Yep. So that's the last thing I would say on that. Again, the website is kharaashburn.com/cleanse. Just 2 payments of $48. And Rochelle is going to put her information if you want to get a consult with her, go deeper on your health. She's also excellent to help you just navigate what your doctor is saying. Okay. And I would say Rochelle also can specialize in autoimmune. Anything having to do with autoimmune. She's a licensed nurse practitioner. She knows all about that. She does that part, and I provide the food education and tell you what to eat and all of that good stuff, and then give you the coaching and things to support you on your goals. All right. So she put the link there for that, kharaashburn.com/cleanse. If you want to join the Rebirth Experience, you can go to www.coachkhara.com or therebirthexperience.com and get signed up right now. It's just $24 a month. You have absolutely nothing to lose. You're not under any obligation to stay. You can stay for a month, get you a month's worth of recipes and coaching. And if you're great, you're great. No hard feelings. But I know you're going to stay because it's the best place on the world. It's the best place for faith-based weight loss, and that's for certain. All right. You want to add anything as we close, Rochelle?
Nope. I'm excited. I'm glad everyone's here, and we have some work to do.
Yes, we do. We
We
do.
have
So if
work to
you
do.
missed this, you'll be able to go back and watch from the beginning. Today was more so about cleansing and flushing your mind.
Yes.
We'll let you know in advance when we're going to be live later this week, and we'll be talking not just fluff, not just sales stuff. We're going to talk to you about how you can flush your own system out. Okay. All right. Thanks everybody for joining,
Take
and
care.
we will see you next time.
All right.
Bye, everybody.